If you're looking for a great daily driver, but also something that you can use for tough work, this is it, the Jaecoo J7. It not only looks great, it is perfectly off-road capable. Did you know you can get benefits from spending at BH Petrol? All you need is the BH Petrol app. Sign up now and get extra points by using this referral code. You can collect points every time you refuel or buy items from the BH Petromart store. With these same points, you can redeem fuel, items from the store, or even hotel stays. So don't wait, get the app now. The Jaecoo J7 features all-wheel drive and is powered by a gasoline turbocharged 1.6-litre petrol engine that develops 194 horsepower and 290 Newton meters of torque. So you have ample power. Drive is through a 7-speed DCT wet clutch, and it has the normal 3 driving modes of Eco, Normal and Sport, plus 4 terrain modes that can tackle any of these off-road surfaces. From the front, it's actually quite majestic with a waterfall grille that's nice and big, and these are the DRLs and the headlights are below, and people call it actually the Mini Range Rover. The Jaecoo J7 has an overall length of 4500 mm. It is 1690 mm tall, 1865 mm wide, and the wheelbase is 2672 mm. So overall size is slightly bigger than the Corolla Cross and slightly smaller than the Mazda CX-5. So you can say this is a C-segment SUV. 19-inch wheels give the vehicle good proportions, and at the front you have MacPherson struts and ventilated discs with the large calipers, and at the rear you have a solid disc and also a multi-link suspension. So this type of suspension setup, which is independent for all 4 wheels, are the ingredients for a car that handles well. The rear end looks quite good. You have LED lights here, and then these little reflectors at the side break the monotony of the back end. And also you can't see the rear wiper, right? Actually it's hidden up here. You have an electrical boot, and there's a lot of boot space. There's a tonneau cover that can be slided to cover your stuff, and this thing can also be removed. The rear seats split 60-40 and fold down to give you extra space. And down here you have a 12-volt power socket, plus on each side there is a tapao hook. Up here, there's another interesting thing. There are 2 hooks here which can be used to hang stuff, and it will take up to 3 kilos of weight each. Very good for the outdoor lifestyle. The interior is quite contemporary and very interesting. It starts with a smaller instrument panel for the driver with all the driving information here, and this is the driving monitor to make sure the driver doesn't fall asleep. Then you have a bigger 14.8-inch screen for infotainment, and this is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto friendly. So the dashboard itself is quite good, and there's a HUD, heads-up display, and this material is soft touch, and this is a little bit of a piano kind of motif, and down here is the hard touch. So further down the road we have this nice looking console with some aluminum inlays, and there is a 50-watt wireless charger that is also air cooled. Interestingly, the gear stick looks very nice and very futuristic, like a trigger or a handle. And down here you have your 3 driving modes, Eco, Normal and Sport. And on top of that, there are 4 terrain modes for off-road usage. At the back here, you have this little armrest, a small little tray for small stuff, and inside here is actually a cooler box. so you can put your soft drink or your chocolate inside here and it will be nice and cool. And up here, there's a little cubby hole for you to put a small box of tissue paper and pull up your tissue paper like this. One of the highlights of the Jaecoo J7 is the panoramic sunroof, and this is a one-touch sunshade opening. And then of course there is the normal sunroof controller. The door handle motif is carried through to the back, and there's an aircon outlet for the rear passengers, so the rear passengers can feel cool. And there is also a Tauke switch. The rear seats itself are quite nice. You can sit 2 to 3 people in comfort. Of course, it's also more comfortable if you sit 2 people, because then you can put the armrest down and you can have your drinks here. The Jaecoo J7 all-wheel drive version retails at Ringgit Malaysia 148,800. For the two-wheel drive version, it is 10,000 ringgit cheaper at 138,800. So in terms of value for money, the Jaecoo J7 looks good. Visually and on paper, it also looks good. So the only thing left for us to do now is to check it out on Genting. So yes, as promised, we're going to take this Jaecoo J7 up the mountain and check out the handling. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the car driving on the road. So how does it feel? Okay, there's a little bit of a drizzle, so I hope it doesn't rain. But we have 194 horsepower, 290 Newton meters of torque, a 7-speed DCT gearbox, no pedal shifters, and of course there is a manual plus minus by engaging a button on this futuristic looking gear stick. Push forward to go up and pull back to bring the gear down. Okay, I already checked earlier, it shifts up by itself, so all I have to do is shift down if I want to lah. And anyway, this is what it feels like to drive on the road at the... Now we are slightly above the speed limit. Speed limit here is 90. Okay, I'm reducing down to 90, and this is what you hear. It's a 4-cylinder, 1.6 liter turbo, so it sounds like any other engine. The only thing is, because we are going at such a low speed, we are pulling at 1,800 RPM. So this is the nominal speed of the engine if you are driving at around 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, and so it is likely to be quite fuel efficient, especially if you don't push it too hard. If you just accelerate gently, you should be able to get quite good fuel consumption. I think you'll be around 7 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's about 12.5 11.5 to 12.5 kilometers per liter. Oh, it's already started raining, so we got to be careful. Yes, so the good news is we have all-wheel drive. And of course, the bad news is today is Saturday. There are a lot of cars that are on the road, and we have to be careful. Yeah, and not only that, usually on weekends, sometimes the cars get into trouble around the corner, so we must be careful around the corners too, because you don't want to collect anybody that's already there. Yeah, and it becomes collateral damage. Yes, the rain is getting quite bad. Well, then this becomes a test drive in the rain. Okay, so with all-wheel drive, it'll be pretty good in the rain. These are 19-inch wheels, so they should give quite good ride and should give quite good grip. Okay, in terms of ride, the Jaecoo J7 is on the comfortable side of firm. Yeah, so it's made for comfort. So even though it is a SUV, you'll find that it is actually quite comfortable. So around the corners you might get a little bit more roll, but well, that's the way it is. It's tuned for comfort, and remembering of course that this is a SUV. You'll be made for that type of ride. So if you're a person who's looking for SUV, this ride will be just nice for you. Nothing to worry about. But of course, up Genting, it won't be as good as a car that has got a stiffer suspension lah. But then how often do you go up Genting, right? Remember that this is a car you'll be using for your day-to-day running. Alright, so it feels quite nice to drive. Steering is quite firm. And so we'll just wait until we get to the start of the run. So if we are ready, let's go. We put on manual. Yes. And you shift up by itself. Well, the road has dried up a bit. So let's just check out. Okay, 1.6 liter turbocharged. Four-wheel drive. It doesn't shift down so well. Yeah, that was the third gear corner. So the DCTs are tuned very conservatively. Motorbike in the corner. Of understeer, but it's quite predictable. Oh, motorbike is understeering. Is he gonna take the line? Gotta be careful of these bikes. Not bad. Understeer. Okay, I'm stuck in third gear. Downhill, so it will be a test of the brakes. There's a bus in the corner. He's taking the line. Oh, managed to gain the second. not bad. Bit of body roll, but that's because the suspension is set and soft. Okay, we're going to take him on the outside. Tanker on the road with a motorbike. Okay, is he gonna turn right? No, yes he is. We'll take him on the left. And there's another car on the right. It doesn't look like he's going to move, so we'll take him on the left. Okay, one car coming out to overtake another car, so you got to be careful. Yep. And careful around this corner. He's alright, he saw us and he's braking. And here we are at the first part of the hill climb. road is a bit wet from the mist or the drizzle. And we're in second gear at last. Motorbike suddenly decided to make a U-turn. Clever. Lucky he had brake lights. Cannot see the road. Where's the road? Where's the road? Okay, the last part is very, very misty. Okay guys, I'm very, very glad because this is the last corner. Cannot see at all. Okay, so that was the Jaecoo J7. Okay, actually, despite the soft suspension, the handling was quite good lah. Very predictable. I had one small understeer, but I think that was because I went in a little bit too fast in that corner. Okay, shift back to auto. Okay, and you will take care of itself. So overall, is it a nice SUV? I think it's okay lah. Okay, and this is the size of about the Atto 3, yeah, around there. And so if you don't like an electric car and you want a gasoline powered car, this is it. This is the Jaecoo 7, 1.6 liter turbo, gasoline, and 194 horsepower, 290 Newton meters of torque. Can it be a Genting car? Well, it's okay lah, but you don't buy it as a Genting car. You can buy it as a family SUV. And once in a while, you want to take your family up to Genting. Is there enough power? Yes, there is. Does it handle well? I think it's acceptable lor. It is not a sports car. Always remember that SUVs never handle as well as cars. But in terms of SUV, it handles quite well lah. Okay, not the best handling of all the SUVs I've ever driven, but it's acceptable. And you can see, you just judge for yourself how we took the corners and never put a wheel wrong. Yeah, it just powers through. And of course the DCT is tuned for longevity and durability, so it doesn't allow a lot of shift shock by merely not allowing you to shift down even though you want. And then it also doesn't allow a lot of upshift shock because it will change up for you automatically. So a couple of times I shifted up, say from second I shift to third, and then at the same time the gearbox decided to shift up one more gear, so I ended up in fourth, and then I had to shift back down to third again. So the plus minus helps you once in a while, but mostly for shifting down. You don't have to shift up, because if you are hungry for power and you accelerate, it will shift out around 5,200 RPM. Normally it will shift up around 4,000. Yeah. So overall, is this a nice car? Yes, I like it. Why do I like it? Well, the trimming is good, and the ADAS system is really very advanced. It not only has a blind spot monitor, it also has blind spot evasion by brake, and also for adaptive cruise control. It can also have curve control. That means if you set it say 110 and then you come to a curve and the curve is say quite sharp, it can only take at 70 or 80, then the adaptive cruise control actually slow down the car for you to take the corner. So it's pretty much a lot safer than the normal cruise control that will try to maintain that. Say you set 110, you try to maintain 110. This one can slow down for corners. Alright, so overall I think this is a great car, and in terms of looks, in terms of power, fuel economy, well, we used up about quite a bit 100 over kilometers of range on this climb, and that's not surprising lah. Even on an electric car you use up 100 over kilometers of range. Yeah, so that's it for my video today. Thanks very much for being with us, and till we meet again in the next video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And of course, if you want to buy this car, we also sell this. Go to our site shop.yskhongdriving.com and you can actually click and order your car through us there. We have many Jaecoo dealers on our list, so you just order the car and from us and let us know where is your location. We will arrange for delivery. And of course, if you buy a car through us, we get a little bit of commission, and that helps us to keep our channel going. Yeah, and of course you also get a free gift from YS Khong Driving and lots of appreciation from us. Thank you very much for staying with us, and for all our supporters, thanks again very much. And here's YS Khong signing off in the mist.